Stretch. That's what I was imagining niggas thinking whenever he stretches like that. Anyway, hello everybody, Lady Gear here, and welcome back to Let's Play the Legend of Zelda Skyward. In the previous video, we've started off the Ancient Cistern, and today we're going to be finishing it off. So let's get started by defeating these bokoblins. Like I said in the previous video, this dungeon is actually based off a story in Japanese literature. So I'll be describing that in a moment. The story was written by, please excuse me if I mispronounced the name, but it was written by Ryunosuke Akutagawa, and it was written in 1918, first published in a children's magazine, and it was pretty cool. The story is about the Japanese equivalent to Buddha, Sakyamuni. He looks through a pond and sees a bunch of sinners, but he notices one of them in particular, and noticed that he had one good deed in his life. Despite the fact that he was a cold-hearted criminal, he did one good deed, and that when he was going through the forest, he did not kill a spider. So Sakyamuni decided that this one good deed may justify him leaving the place with the other sinners. So what he did was that he threw down a spider web, a spider thread for him to climb across. However, the sinner, his name is Kandata. He was unwilling to help the other sinners get out and climb the thread with them. So when they were trying to climb along with him, he was thinking that it was his and his alone. At that moment, the thread broke, and he was stuck in there for all eternity. This was, like I said, the story was written by Ryunosuke Akutagawa. In his lifetime, he wrote 150 short stories. Unfortunately, he dealt with the depression and died of an overdose because his depression was mostly because of his paranoia, but with the fact that he may have inherited his mother's mental disorder, and that he was also suffering from visual hallucinations. So the guy was very deeply depressed and died at the age of 35, which is really sad stuff. Anyway, so how's this affect this dungeon, you may ask? Well, the place we're in right now actually resembles the place where Kandata was being held. And there's a bunch of references to that story in this place, like the cursed moblins are actually based off the sinners. The influence of Buddha was the statue that we used to get in this place. The sculptures are spiders, and there's a bunch of lily ponds across this place, which is what Sakyamuni used to look at Kandata when he was trying to help him escape. So this place is very interesting, and that it's based off a Japanese literature, and actually there's a Hatsune Miku song based off this story as well, called Spider Thread Monopoly. It's a pretty good song, and if you like Vocaloid, I definitely recommend you go check out that song, because I'm a big Vocaloid fan, and Hatsune Miku is definitely my favorite of the Vocaloid characters. I'm not sure how many of you guys actually like Vocaloid, but I like Hatsune Miku songs. Anyway, what we want to do is that after we switch the stones going in the other direction, we want to climb across the vine going across the other way so we can reach this place. And this area we're going to be getting into in a moment, this is actually directly inspired by the story, because like I said a moment ago, in the story, Kandata, he was using a spider thread to escape where he was being held captive, and these other sinners were trying to climb along with him. This is directly inspired by that, because these cursed bokoblins are trying to climb up with us, and we have to try and stake them off to escape, and we're directly climbing a spider thread to get out of this place. This is I really love the attention to detail with this dungeon. It's a big reason why this is my favorite dungeon in the game. But now that we've escaped that place, what we're going to be doing next is that, first of all, there's an amber rack over here I'm going to go back. But next we're going to be going over here, activating the switch so that we can gain access to that area over there. Now we're going to pull out our whip and take out the go switch and reactivate it so that we can get the statue to rise again. After the statue has been risen, what we want to do next is everyone go back down here. And we climb onto the spider thread, even though I didn't use that to get down here. That's kind of weird. Anyway, what we're going to do next is everyone go over here, back to the place where we were, because now the statue has been risen, we now have access to that treasure chest we saw in the previous video. That fountain right there is used so that you don't have to go all the way around when you want to go escape. So there's nothing wrong with the treasure chest, let's go collect it. And we get the thing! Oh yeah! Oh my god, they're everywhere! And the sky is falling! The picture of the statue, I don't know why I call it the sky, but whatever, it's falling! And it's slowly going to crush the moblins. It crushed them with its big feet. So now that we have the key, we can go up to the top of this room so that we can gain access to the main, so we can gain access to the boss fight in this place. Using the whip against this thing right here will activate the final fountain, which I kind of forgot to do in the previous video, but now we can use that to get this stuff up. And there's a flower thing right there, which we can use to activate the key. And I've already talked about my opinion on the keys in this dungeon, so I'm not going to be talking about it any further. Actually, I don't know what I'm saying actually a lot in this video. There was a somebody commented on a video a while back, asking about the quality of the video and wanted to show me, and give me a link to one of his videos showing a test he recorded with the new capture card he has. And this is actually the place that he was this is the place, this is part of the game they used to test it. And I'm just gonna say this right now, I do have plans to update my recording system at some point in the future, because I've been using the Dazzle capture card for a little while, and I'd kind of like to move on to higher quality videos. The thing is though, higher quality capture cards means it's gonna be more expensive, and I don't have the money to do that right now. I do know that one Let's Play that I really want, the one game that I really want to Let's Play, I'm gonna have to update my entire recording system to be able to do it. Now I don't actually have to, but the way I'm gonna be doing that game, it does require me to do that, so I do have plans to update my capture card system at some point in the future. You certainly are persistent. I'm terribly busy trying to find the clues that will help me revive the Demon King. Your insistent buzzing around my head like some irksome gadfly when I'm this busy, well, it's making me very disagreeable. And now we are facing my favorite boss in the entire Zelda game, and this is actually one of my favorite boss fights in the entire Zelda series as a whole. This boss is awesome! What we're gonna do is I want to use our whip to pull off his arms, and then when he's taking enough damage, what he's gonna do is that he's he has a couple arms and stuff like that. He's going to reveal his weak spot soon, hopefully. So let's just keep doing. Let's just keep walking. Now his weak spot is exposed, so we want to pull off his other arms so that he will have no way to guard the red spot on his chest. So let's slap at it! Slap! 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 Ah! And his arms will go back, and then he'll be evil and whatever. This, like I said, this is my favorite boss fights in the entire Zelda series. A big reason is because because of the way we fight him. We have to pull off his robotic arms to do damage to him. And the biggest reason this is my favorite boss in the game is actually going to come in a little bit later. But anybody who's played this game and everybody who actually likes this boss fight should already know what I'm talking about because this boss fight is really cool. Let's keep blasting at the red thing. Oh my god, he can walk! And now we are at my favorite part of the boss fight, and you should already know why if you know anything about this boss fight. We have to pull off his arms, and after we do that, we'll be able to gain access to the giant blades. These things are so cool! So we have to wait until he actually tries to stop us again, and I just get damaged. I'm gonna pick up the other sword, and then we're gonna race over to him, and then we're gonna chop at his legs. And then we're gonna slam the sword into the red thing on his chest. It's so cool. We're having a giant blade in this boss fight just makes me so happy. I don't know why, but I just really love the fact that we can have a giant blade that's like twice the size of Link, and we can be using that to fight the boss. This is definitely the highlight of the dungeon for me, and it may even be one of the bigger highlights of the entire game for me because I can't stress it enough. I love this boss fight so much. After a while, you'll summon some crypt mobs against you. These ones are easier to take care of than the ones that we fought earlier on because those ones we can just simply defeat them with a simple spin attack. We don't have to use a fatal blow against them. After we pull off his arms, we're going to pick up a sword again. Well, or probably not because he's doing one of those kind of attacks. You want to stay away from him when he's doing that kind of attack because that deals a lot of damage, especially if you're playing on hero mode. So now that we've done that, let's wait until he does his attack. Let's avoid it. Yeah, we avoided. We are epic. Let's chop off his legs again and slam the sword into the chest. This boss fight is awesome. I can't stress that enough. And now his arms are going back, and his limbs are going back, and things like that. And he's also very tiny. Tiny as he is. Something I like to do whenever I play this game is that I like to try and have him destroy all the pillars before I defeat him. I'm probably not going to do that this time around because I don't want this video to take too long. If all the pillars were not destroyed by the time this boss fight's over, I'm going to destroy them myself. Because I just like destroying the pillars because it makes a really cool sound effect and it looks really impressive for a Wii game. But anyway, would you please attack already? Thank you. So now let's pull off his arms again. What would have been really cool is that if you would have been able to like actually block his attacks with the sword. I really hope something like this happens in Zelda game. Being able to wield a giant blade, because there's no doubt that this is one of the coolest things in the entire Zelda game. Come on, dude. Come on, dude, I want your blade! And then whatever, I'm just gonna pick up this blade. We're almost done with this boss fight, so let's finish him off! Chop off his leg! And then slam the sword into his chest! That laugh was so creepy. That laugh actually reminds me of the laughs in Roller Coaster Tycoon, the little kids who are going across the park, and those um, the voices of the guests in that game always creeped me out. So it's even more disturbing to see that in a Zelda game. But now let's pick up the heart container. And I'm gonna say you guys something, another thing that I love to do when I beat this boss fight. I love to pick up the blade and just carry it around because Link looks way too epic with it. It's like, well, I got a giant blade and you don't. Fear me! Fear me! Fear me! Die, Terra! Oh, I forgot. In the Pillar of Destroy, they will always release a heart unless you're playing on Heroes mode. So if you're running low on hearts in the middle of the boss fight, try to have them destroy a pillar for you. But one more thing I love to do after I beat this boss fight is I love to slam the sword onto the statue's head, because this makes it so unnecessarily epic and I keep missing. Well, that's enough for now. Let's just go through the door. Sacrifice fire! Slam her against the wall! Have her burn! He's still alive! Raise your sword, master. The flames of Faroa have improved your sword, making it longer and sharper to do twice as much damage. The sacred flame has purified your blade, enhancing and evolving it. With your sword now enhanced, you are ready to learn a new melody, whose return to the Isle of the Songs.